Alright, here guys are the answers for 8.2 practice that was assigned today for you guys in class. You were supposed to turn in at least a minimum of 5 odd problems to receive the 5 points, and then you can finish the rest of it for homework to earn the other 5 points for this assignment. Alright, so number 1, it says simplify the expression and write your answer as a power. So do not go and evaluate this, okay? You don't need to evaluate. They just ask you to simplify the expressions, and they want you to write as the answer as a power, okay? So negative 16 to the 5th power times negative 16 to the 21st power. So rule number 1, this is product. It's a product of a power property. So same base, when you multiply, you add the exponent. So you take 5 plus 21. Remember, you have to have the same base in order for you to use the product of power property. Okay, so you have the base is still negative 16. Your base is negative 16. And don't forget the negative 16 go inside of the parentheses. And then 5 plus 21 is going to give you 26. So your answer is negative 16 raised to the 26th power. Okay. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, q to the 7 times q to the 9th. All right, same base. Your base is q, and then 7 plus 9 is going to give you 16. So your answer for number 3 is q to the 16th power. Number 5. Number 5, you have 5 over 8. Raised to the 2nd power and then raised to the 3rd power. So this right here is rule number 2. A power raised to a power. So a power raised to a power, you multiply. So instead of writing 5 over 8 to the 2nd power 3 times, that's going to turn into the product of a power rule. We can apply the power rule to a power rule. And a power raised to a power, you multiply. All right, your base is 5 over 8, and then you multiply 2 times 3, which is going to give me 6. You need the parentheses go around the 5 over 8. If you don't have the parentheses around the 5 over 8, then only the numerator carry the exponent. But this whole fraction, 5 over 8, raised to the 6th power. All right, that's number 5. And then number 7 is say simplify the expressions. You have negative, this is right here is a power of a product. So inside the parentheses you have a product, negative 2 times p raised to the 4th power. So the way I see it, I can think of there's a 1 right here on the top of the 2, and there's a 1 right here on top of the p. So you're going to multiply 1 times 4 and then 1 times 4. So you have negative 2, all right, to the 4th power times negative 2 times p to the 4th power. Now I know some of you guys took an extra step to evaluate this, and you take negative 4 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. That will be negative 6, positive 16. Because the exponent is an even number and the base is a negative, so you end up with having 16 p to the 4. But you don't have to do this. It's only asking you to simplify the expression. It didn't evaluate. But if you have this answer, that's perfectly fine with me. All right. Okay, next one. You have... Okay, so I see there's a power raised to a power rule right there. So you're going to take 2 times 4. So that's going to give me 3 to the 8th. All right, 2 times 4 is 8, minus, think of there's a 1 on the top. 3 is mean 3 to the 1st power, so you're supposed to multiply first before you subtract. So 3 to the 5th times 3 to the 1st, same base, we add the exponent. So that's going to give you 3 to the 6th. So now you have 3 to the 8 minus 3 to the 6th power. Again, if you want to evaluate, you can punch this in the calculator and 3 to the 8, whatever that value is, and then minus 3 to the 6. So that's number 9. All right, here's number 11. In 2016, about 2 times 5 to the 4th power times 3 to the 3rd power text messages sent every second. So every second around the world, this is many message is sent. Now they want to know how many text message are there sent in each day. Okay, well, but they told you that this is how many seconds are there in each day in terms of exponent. Well, you want to know how many seconds are there in each day, you can take 24, there's 24 hours a day, and there's 60 minutes in every hour, and then there are 60 seconds in every minute. So you have to multiply all that out to find out how many seconds are there in a day. But you don't have to do that because they gave you the number of seconds in one day in terms of exponents already. So if you want to know how many messages you send out in a day, if every second you send out this many messages. So we're going to take 2 times 5 raised to the 4th power times 3 to the 3rd power. Right? That's how many text messages are sent in 1 second. And then you have to times how many seconds are there in a day, which is 2 to the 7th power times 3 times 5 to the 2nd power. So from there, I can use the 3 rules that I learned today to simplify this, okay? All right, so it says write your answer as an expression involving 3 powers in standard form, okay? So remember, don't take 2 times 5. Don't take 2 times 5, and don't take 3 times 5 over here, because they want you to write that as an expression involving 3 powers. Because if you take 2 times 5, that's going to be 10. That's going to be 10 to the 4th power. And then 3 times 5 is 15. That's 15 to the 2nd power. They want you to rewrite that in terms of 3 powers. But remember, I see there's a 5 right there. There's a 5 over here. So if I apply the rules, I definitely can simplify the expression a little bit better. I see there's a 3 here, and there's a 2 to the 7, and there's a 2 in here. So let's go and put a 1 right there and put a 1 right there. So I'm going to go, this right here is the power of a product rule. That's rule number 3, power of a product. So 2 to the 1st raised to the 4th, that's going to give me 2 to the 4th power times 5 to the 1st raised to the 4th power, that's going to give me 5 to the 4th power, times 3 to the 3rd. So leave the 3 to the 3rd power alone, because there's nothing else I can do to that yet. And then times 2 to the 2nd, 2 to the 7th power, 2 to the 7th. Times, all right, put a 1 right here on the exponent of the 3, and a 1 right here on the exponent of the 5. 3 to the 1st raised to the 2nd, that's going to give me 3 to the 2nd, times 5 to the 1st raised to the 2nd power, that's going to give me 5 to the 2nd power. Now, if you can see that, okay, so there's a 5, 2 to the 4th power, there's a 2 to the 7th power, that's one group, and then you have 5 to the 4th power, and 5 to the 2nd power, that's another group, and you also have 3 to the 3rd power, and times 3 to the 2nd power, that's another group. So when it comes to multiplication, you can change the orders of these numbers, all right? So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to group the 2 to the 7 and 2 to the 4 and 2 to the 7 together. So when you take 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 7, same base, this is product of a power, you add the exponent. So you take 4 plus 7 is going to give me 11. So that's going to be my first term. All right, and then I can take 5 to the 4 times 5 to the 2nd. 5 to the 4, 5 times 5 to the 2nd. Same base, when you multiply again, you add the exponent. 4 plus 2 is going to give you 6. All right, and the last one we should have is 3 to the 3rd times 3 to the 2nd. So the base is 3. Same base, when you multiply, you add the exponent. 3 plus 2 give you 5. So ladies and gentlemen, right there, my answer is in an expressions that involve in 3 powers. 2 to the 11 times 5 to the 6 times 3 to the 5th. And there is the answer to number 11. All right, number 13, it says show that this expression is equal to this expression. Now you can see you can apply the power to a power rule. It won't give you that. There's a 15 right there. Where do you think this 15 come from? Well, if I take 5 times 15, 5 times 3 is going to give me 15. And where does 9 come from? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So somewhere in here, we broke down the 27. Okay? So let me show you what I meant by that. You have 5 times 27 times y to the 6th power. I can turn that into 5 times 3 times 7 times y to the 6th power. Again, all I did was I broke the 27 down to 3 times 7. I'm sorry, 3 times 9. My mistake, 3 times 9. 3 times 9 give you 27. Okay, let me rewrite that. 3 times 9 times y to the 6. Okay, again, the 27, I broke it down to 3 times 9. And again, why did I do that? Because, well, the reason I did that because I can see there's a relationship between 5 and 15. Well, 5 times 3 is going to give me 15 right there. And then I see there's a 9. So again, it's all about, play around with the number, or if you can see that already, that's great, because 27 is a multiple of 3. 3 times 3 times 3. All right, so right there you have 5 times 3 is 15 times 9 times y raised to the 6th power. And then from there, I can apply the power to a power rule right there. 15 to the 1st power raised to the 6th power raised to a power. Or again, guys, you can just distribute. You can just take the 6 and put on top the 15. So now you end up with 15 to the 6th power times 9 to the 6th power times y to the 6th power. And that right there is equivalent to the expression that I asked you to show that the left-hand side expression is equal to the right-hand side. So these two this equation are equal to each other. Left is equal to the right. Okay. Number 15. Find the values of x in the equation without evaluating the power, and explain your reasonings. Okay, well, 5 to the x power raised to the 4th power. Well, for you to get this problem is mean whatever x is, if I want to simplify this, I have to take x times 4, right? X times 4. And that's right there is a power to a power rule. And over here I have 5 to the 24th power. Well, 4 times what give you 24? Right? 4 times what number give you 24? Or 24 divided by 4 give you what? So I know right there the answer is 6. Because if I have 5 to the 6th power, okay, raised to the 4th power, and it's going to give me 5 to the 24th power. Power to power, you multiply. There you go. So the answer to number 15, x is equal to 6. X equal to 6. So those are the homework for you guys. Well, classwork was to complete at least a minimum of 5 problems. If you did not do that, you're not going to get full credit. So even if you're going to submit everything this evening after you look over the answers I'm sharing with you, you're only going to get half credit. So make sure you complete your work before you leave the classroom, and then whatever left over, you guys can do that for homework.